Is it because of humanity's instinct of the unknown that we tend to fear what we lack the most knowledge about? So, can you imagine if nowadays you would hear of people saying that they're afraid of eating tomatoes because they look poisonous and round? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would definitely think they are a little bit crazy because, like, come on, like, tomatoes are basically one of the most basic ingredients in universal cooking. Like, they're the ketchup in your fries, you can toss a couple of tomatoes in your salad, or that yummy tomato pasta sauce that your mom makes. So the reason why I'm bringing this topic is because actually 200 years ago, people in North America and Europe would not eat tomatoes because they thought they were poisonous. And the reason why I'm bringing this topic is because I believe it is very relevant to a modern technology that we are using now, and that is GMOs. So GMOs are basically genetically modified organisms. A lot of GMOs are produced in vegetables and fruits like corn, watermelon, bananas, etc. So I want to take you on a little journey about GMOs and talk about some of the myths and some of the arguments that are against this technology and help you assess how we can think if this technology is good or bad for us. So one of the first myths about GMOs is that, oh, like this is a new technology, like we have just been using it now. And in reality, like we have been artificially selecting plants and vegetables around 7,800 years ago. Like the watermelon that you eat in the mornings, the corn that you eat, that, trust me, it does not look like what it looks right now. We have been choosing the best traits of plants throughout thousands of years that fit our needs. And then the second myth that I also hear the most is that, oh, GMOs are very bad for you because since they are genetically modified, they can also change your DNA. And again, that is completely wrong because whatever types of foods that we eat, they actually just get dissolved into our stomachs, and we have enzymes that break down these foods to its most simple components, and we use them as nutrients, and then, well, you know, the rest just goes to the toilet. And then the third myth that I want to talk about is that people say like, oh, GMOs are so bad for the environment, they're going to kill us. And again, that is completely wrong because GMOs actually use less chemicals because they're more resistant to pesticide and they're more resistant to plagues, which means we don't really have to expose all this agricultural plants to chemicals that are being thrown away into the atmosphere. And then there's also a couple of arguments that I think they're very respected against this type of technology. And the first one is about poison. So in a lot of GMOs, they are genetically modified that they have some type of poison that kills a lot of insects. And that's how we reduce our use of pesticides. But what happens is that people think because this poison is inside of the genetic code of this plant that it actually hurts us. But poison is just a matter of perspective among species. As you can see, chocolate, it's very delicious for us and it doesn't really cause any bad effects that we would think are very critical. But for dogs, chocolate can actually kill them over time. Another example is coffee. Coffee gives us all that energy that we need in order to complete our daily routines. But for insects, if you give them coffee, it completely kills them. So when people try to bring that argument, what they don't really realize is that poison is just a matter of perspective into who does it affect. So those type of poisons that kill these insects, it might affect those plagues, but it does not really affect us because we have a completely different organism and our body reacts different from those components than it does to insects. And then the last argument, which I think is something that we should always talk about, and I think it's very respected, is that people say, well, what about Terminator seeds? And you guys may not have heard what Terminator seeds are, but basically what they are they are the seeds that are genetically modified that they sell to farmers. All these companies, let's say, they sell to the farmers, and they're able to grow these plants, and they're able to collect the harvest, but then the plants are sterile. So you can reproduce those seeds, or you can't keep growing this. And the big problem with this is that it really isn't the science what's doing this harm. What's happening is that all those big corporations, they're holding control of, let's say, who we sell the seeds, or how long can they last. So that sort of creates a dependency for a lot of farmers. And in a way, it's really bad for economics, because we are giving the total control of who is giving us this technology and how we can distribute it to the public. So when we talk about this technology, I think that we shouldn't think that it is the technology that is bad, but it's actually all the corporations behind it and all their greed that have control over this technology that can actually create a lot of harm for us. So we should ask, who are we given the power to control this type of technology instead of the actual technology itself?
Very good.